What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Iowa Retro Gamer Dad Side Quest. Yahoo, baby! Oh my god, that was corny. Why did we have to start like that? We recently been talking more about the Xbox Series X and Xbox on this channel, and I wanted to kind of dive into something that I've seen a couple of other people talking about that we really need to talk about a little bit here too. And that's not to dip out on the PS4 just yet. And what do I mean by that, guys? Well, I don't know why, but my hat keeps going crooked. PS4 was a great improvement. Let's face it, it was a great console. Not only is nowadays with PS5 being backwards compatible with the PS4, but the games right now are going for dirt cheap. You can usually show up to a game store, buy physical copies of anything, and it's very inexpensive at all. And you're also running into some awesome things where the PlayStation 5 is offering free PS5 upgrades for certain games. Now, I personally love the PS4. I was an Xbox fan. I'm not going to say a fanboy in itself, but I enjoyed the Xbox ever since the Xbox 360. To me, that was probably the golden age of Xbox, and I was actually, made the jump to Xbox One. But it wasn't until I bought a PS4 very late in the console life, I think it was very shortly before the PS5 came out, that I kind of discovered a lot of stuff that I had missed. Great games like God of War, Last of Us, and a lot of those exclusives. Like even before, like up there behind me right now, the Spider-Man series, and getting a PS4 was worth it. And right now, guys, is a good time to get a PS4 if you've never had one, because they are dirt cheap. I'm seeing them sold on Facebook Marketplace. I'm seeing them sold in actual game stores and stuff, going anywhere from $80 to $100. And the games themselves, like I said, are very, very cheap. Even some of the games, God, it's just, now obviously, when we talk about cheap game prices, we're kind of steering away a little bit from the digital stuff. Yes, you can get some great deals, usually on some older games, obviously. Like, I think at one point, I think about Resident Evil 4, like the OG, for a couple bucks. And Sony does have sometimes some great deals on their games, especially on the online store. But physical is where it's at when it comes to the older consoles. Like I said, the PS4 games are really cheap. I think last time I was at my game store, I was feeling like I wanted to play some Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake. So I was able to pick both those games up for, I want to say, around $10 a piece. And that was at a game store, which is kind of unheard of. And you can check out the price charting and stuff like that. And if you guys want, make sure you comment below if you'd like to see a video either on this channel or the main channel, kind of doing a little price charting on some of the console games, so that way we can do it. But I would just suggest that if you guys have not had a PS4 yet and you wanted to dip your toes in it, now is a great time to do it, because it's just cheap. And that's the same going on with Xbox Ones. I remember last year, you could see the boxes, like I said, up there, the Call of Duty one and the Spider-Man 2 one. Both my older sons got PS5s for Christmas back in, not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And I just remember just seeing right then when I was trying to resell their Xbox Ones to kind of accrue some of my money back, because let's face it, it wasn't cheap buying two PS5s. But I noticed that I wasn't getting much back for them. I was expecting, $150, $200, but those things are selling so cheap right now, it's insane. And that's kind of another jumping point into another part, is getting into, the consoles before. We have the Pros being released. We have huge Xbox Series X being released, the PS5 Pro, Series X, with blah, 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 huge whatevers. And then we already have speculations and rumors going around about a next wave of consoles. Not only with the Switch 2 being announced and stuff like that. It's always a good time then to jump backwards with the consoles. Especially if you're like me, you're only playing Xbox. You only had enough money to afford an Xbox, and then you finally picked up one of the other consoles for dirt cheap, and it was awesome because then all the games were cheap. But I think even like Xbox One and PS4, if you have been a long time fan of the opposite console, now is a very good time to go and see what you missed. Like I said, when I got the PS4, I think one of the first few games I played was I played The Last of Us, the first one, absolutely loved it. So then I picked up the second one, and then another game that I instantly had to get was the God of War for the PS4, which blew my freaking mind. Now I'm not a big fan of the older God of War games, just basically the run around and beat 'em up one, but I enjoyed this open world, really fun one. And that's the same if you guys are not getting into Xbox. There's a lot of great titles on the Xbox Ones. Exclusives suck, believe me. Exclusive sucks. I wish a lot of consoles could work together and get more of these games to other parts of the systems. But those older exclusives right now are very good to get. And one last thing is just enjoy gaming in general. It's always nice to have more consoles because you have much more options to play. But just remember that you need to get stuff that you're going to play and enjoy. Don't just buy something just to buy something. So I'm going to end the video right there. I know this is a quick one. This side quest channel is just quick, but I fully suggest if you guys have not invested in a PS4 or even just a regular Xbox One, go ahead and check it out, especially when a lot of consoles nowadays are really kind of syncing it up and hooking it up with backwards compatibility. Because even if you got a PS5, guys, you can go ahead and pick up some great PS4 titles for cheap. And it's the same, I believe, with the Series X. I'm not 100% sure on those, but I know that Xbox really prides itself on backwards compatibility. And even finally now, Nintendo is pulling their heads out of their butts. And I've heard that the Switch 1 is going to be compatible with the Switch 2 game-wise. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, stay retro, my friends, and we will see you in the next video, either here or the main channel. And that being said, if you guys are not following the main channel, make sure you go down to the description below, check her out. God bless, guys.